What's up, YouTube? LTH coming at you with a video. 713 the Bio City, we in the building. So the NFL draft has officially come to a wrap. And the last day of the draft, went, with more moves being made, just to secure the picks that Nick Caserio feel comfortable drafting. So let's see who the Texans drafted for rounds 4 and 7. The Texans, they drafted Woody Marks, running back out of UFC, 4th round pick. And then they went on to add Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State, round 6, pick 187. And then they went on to draft Graham Mertz out of Florida, quarterback, guessing that, for QB3, knowing Davis Mills is going into his last year of his rookie deal. And then they managed to add a D tackle in Keontae Hamilton, D tackle from Rutgers, round 6, pick 224. And then they added Luke Lache, however I pronounce his name, tight end out of Iowa. Though I wanted Gunnar Helm from Texas, who went to Tennessee, by the way. But hey, I'll take with the tight end that the Texans got out of Iowa, which was the last pick of their 2025 NFL draft. So, as of the 2025 draft class, consists of Jaden Higgins, Ariante Ursery, Jalen Noel, Jalen Smith, Woody Marks, which is a good pickup. The Villa, complimentary back behind Joe Mixon. Jalen Reed for safety depth. Quarterback Graham Mertz out of Florida. Keontae Hamilton and Luke Lache. And I can understand why, though I wanted two more interior linemen, though I can understand why Caserio didn't draft linemen in the late rounds, even though Houston added an undrafted center from Kentucky. But I gotta say, most linemen that gets drafted in the late rounds doesn't even make the roster, before the start of the season. So, I mean, can't be upset for Caserio for not drafting linemen in the late rounds, Though it would have been nice to do so in the early rounds, but, hey, I ain't tripping. LTH doing no tripping. I mean, I'm cool with what the Texans drafted. Added a tight end, was able to address the tackle, safety, running back, defensive back, outside of Lassiter and Stingley. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Ursery ends up playing left tackle, or left tackle actually, moving Titus Howard into the interior section, which is right guard or left guard, since I seen Titus Howard do well in the right and left guard positions, whenever, even left tackle, whenever our key lineman was down with injury. So I wouldn't be shocked if Titus Howard plays left or right guard. As far as Jaden Higgins, 6'4", same size as Nico, great hands, 3 drops in the last 2 seasons, which is not bad. And Jalen Noel, it just boils down who's the odd man out in the receiver core, truth be told. So, I mean, another draft gone, another productive draft by the Texans, getting in, addressing the wide receiver, courtesy of Tank Dell, missing 2025, and they managed to address the running back and the tackle and tight end, which was the more important. So And they saying, the Texans online doesn't look as bad as people make it out to be. But hopefully, they can protect CJ Stroud better, a lot better compared to last season. If it means, limiting the sacks. Times Stroud would get sacked, to at least, 35 times or less. It's what I'm looking for come 2025. But let's see how these draft picks pan out come 2025, along with which, if one of these draft picks even make the roster. So, but hey, as they say, only time will tell. And let's see and as of May 14th is the official schedule release, by the way. Meaning now that the draft is over with, looking forward to see who the Texans are playing week 1 of 2025. So I'll probably make a video 1 week prior to the schedule release. So till my next video, LTH checking on up out of here. 713 to Bayou City. Go Texans. Houston till I die, and I'm gone.